last year we heard a lot about Nokia and the troubles they were going through.
Yes.
Nokia, we know, is still big in the South African market. A lot
Yes.
of people still using the old feature phones as opposed to the smartphones. A lot being said about Nokia not having a smartphone. They came out with a phone at CES, a smartphone.
Yes.
Could this be the phone that turns their fortunes around?
Well, let's put Microsoft into that picture as well, because it's Microsoft and Nokia's partnership where they launched their Lumia phone, and the Lumia phone is running Windows Phone 7 as an operating system, and there was a really big hype about it. It's going to be a big year for Microsoft, because Microsoft are going to be launching Windows 8, which is the next generation of their software, and together with Windows Phone 7, these two systems are going to work quite well. Their mobile platform, which I'm very excited about, I think it's a really good platform, is Windows Phone 7, which was launched on the Lumia phone, the Nokia Lumia phone, and that created a big hype. It really got a very positive reception. And you're going to see these mobile devices and these smartphones, we're going to hear more of them in the next 6 weeks, because it's the World Mobile Congress coming up in Barcelona, which is the world's biggest mobile show. But we got a glimpse of some of the devices, like Huawei also introduced a very thin smartphone. Samsung are big in the market. They're making big ripples out there, making big announcements. So that segment of the market, the smartphone market, is a different game altogether, and we're going to see some exciting technology coming out over there as well, because that's massive business as well. Everyone seems to be having a smartphone these days, and in the next couple of years, you know, those feature phones you talk about, forget about it. Your computer will be in your pocket, and that computer in your pocket will be talking to your devices at home.
Okay. The Apple iPad.
Yes.
Okay. Everyone's talking about the iPad 3, a lot of talk obviously about the iPhone 5 and coming out. We've seen how it's revolutionized the tablet market.
Yes.
In terms of the iPad and how it's really changed how people consume media. But Toshiba's come out with the lightest tablet, I think, or thinnest rather,
yes.
7.7 millimeters. Now, I mean, that's crazy. It's less than a centimeter. But the interesting thing for me was that it has a mini USB port. Do you think this is where, I suppose, Apple's rivals will see a gap in the market? Because a lot of people I've spoken to say they love the iPad, they love how it works.
Yeah.
But the fact that they don't have this port to get stuff onto there easily without having to go through your computer, laptop, and iTunes is a drawback.
Well, you know, yes and no, Sheldon. You know, with everything going up in the cloud, and when we say cloud, all the content that you store, you'll access somewhere up above there. So technically, you don't need a USB port. It's like the new generation of laptops, the Ultrabooks that were coming into CS, which we'll talk about in a moment, is they don't have a CD drive. So all your information is stored outside of your computer. So you don't need that much space on your computer, and you're able to access all that content fairly easily and fairly quickly, but it's all dependent on having a fast internet connection. Where in South Africa it's coming, and this in South Africa, the fast internet connectivity is going to be a big year here. We've got this West African cable system that's coming down the west coast of Africa. That's going to go live in the next 6 weeks or so, and that's going to double our capacity that we have over here. So all of these technologies that we've been talking about, the content being streamed to television, the content coming down to your tablet device, that is all becoming a reality in South Africa. And just coming back to the ultra-thin devices, I mean, last year at CES was the year of the tablet computer, and we saw all these companies launching tablets. I mean, there were over 70 tablets that were launched last year at CES. This year, I think there were less than 15 tablets that were launched, and iPad still has its dominance in the market. They control 70% of the world market. They will launch a new tablet, iPad 3, which is expected to be announced sometime in April, May, will be available here in South Africa around about that time. A lot of the companies are waiting to see. Apple are going to come out with a thinner device, a better screen that you're going to be guaranteed of. Now, coming back to what you said about Toshiba, yeah, they announced a brilliant tablet device there. A lot of the other manufacturers have also announced ultra-thin tablet devices. In fact, Lenovo launched a device they call the Yoga, which is an Ultrabook, okay? But they launched their own technology, and they patented the hinge. So as soon as you open up your laptop, it folds directly over. So you've got a tablet device in your hand as well as a computer when you need it. And this was the theme this year. Ultrabooks were big there. And what we talk about in Ultrabook, we're talking about an ultra-thin computer, where most of them, in fact none of them that I'm aware of, have a CD drive. but it's got a really fast processor, brilliant screen, and really strong internet connectivity, so you're able to access the cloud and all your content onto your computer. So those are the devices, and that's kind of the theme that we came out at CES this year. Ultra thin, smart, portable, and even from the TVs, we spoke about those thin TVs, ultra thin on the laptops as well, and Intel are working on some fascinating technology to make those processors more energy efficient, so that you've got longer battery life, which is a crucial thing in the laptop. There's nothing more frustrating than having a 2-hour battery life. With Ultrabooks, we're talking about 8 hours plus.
Now, Aki, I mean, geez, it's phenomenal to hear what is coming out and the rate at which it's coming out.
Yes.
I think that's another important thing. You use a lot of these devices in your own personal, capacity.
Yes.
What devices did you add to your own little personal catalog?
Well, you know what? There were devices that I really wanted, but unfortunately what we saw at the Consumer Electronics Show is not necessarily available immediately. These are technologies that have been launched, and we will see them coming out throughout the year. So I think that the Lenovo Yoga laptop really was one that's, for me, it doubles up as a tablet device and as a computer. That I found really exciting. Some of the smartphones that were introduced were really, really interesting. I mean, even Sony Ericsson came out with some interesting ones. I saw an interesting camera device from Sony Ericsson that streams video live onto the internet, which was quite interesting. Obviously those televisions are just magnificent. I so badly want one of those 55-inch ones, and and it does no justice for us to talk about it, but when you sit in front of the television and you experience the quality of picture, it's absolutely amazing. To watch a DVD and to watch television on that kind of thing is just mind-blowing. But having said that, these things come at a price, Sheldon. We don't know what the pricing is yet, but analysts are saying that they will start no less than $7,000, which means that we're talking about close to the 80,000 Rand mark here in South Africa. But as the year progresses, and as we've seen these HD televisions coming out, the flat panel televisions, you remember when they first started coming out, they were in the range of 15 to 20,000. Now you can buy one for about 4,000 Rand. So as those supplies increase and the market uptake is high, so the prices are going to start coming down.
Now, Aki, I know CES is work for you, but I mean, look, it's probably play as well.
Yes,
absolutely. But when the doors closed, you were in Las Vegas. Come on, it couldn't have just been all work. There must have been some play. What did you get up to after hours?
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Okay.
Well,
never forget that. But seriously, Vegas it's a bit of a sleazy place, but there are some cool things to do there as well. I mean, a Grand Canyon tour was magnificent, and watching Celine Dion live is just amazing. I'm joking, I did it. But it was Elvis's birthday, and there were lots of Elvis impersonators, some of them which I've seen in Boksburg and Benoni as well.
Thanks, Aki, Anastasiou. We look forward to seeing all those products coming out, and it'll be interesting to see how they come into the South African market and the penetration as well.
Absolutely. We're not going to see most of them. The reality is we're not going to see most of them, but mobile, that's where it's going to be. It's going to be big, and the World Mobile Congress, which starts at the end of February, that's going to be a fascinating one to watch this year.
I hope to hear more about Las Vegas, but we'll take that off camera.